Hi, welcome to Pilates with Abla. This is part one of a two-part pre- and postnatal series. If you're pre- and postnatal, it's particularly important to check with your doctor before beginning any type of exercise, including this video. Also, please listen to your body, take breaks if you need them, maybe even stop if you need to, and make sure you have a glass of water nearby to take a water break if you need it. Anyone can do this series, but this is geared to pre- and postnatal because we're working the muscles that support the body during that time, like the seat muscles, the legs, the upper back, arms, and we talk about pelvic floor and low, deep abs. Let's go ahead and get started. I have some props with me. I have some hand weights and a resistance band, but you're welcome to do any of this without props. Feet are a little wider than your hip. Make sure you're standing nice and tall, pelvic floor is lifted, and then extend your arms out to the side and start with some marches forward. Start by lifting the right leg up and the left leg up. Just marching those legs up and up. Think high knees by lifting that pelvic floor. Chest is tall and proud, and make sure your ribs aren't splaying out. Let's do 8 more, 7, and as best you can, try to keep the weight centered. 4, 3, 2, keep the legs going, but take them to the side so your knees go sideways to warm up the hips. Up and up. Lifting the knees to a point that feels comfortable for your body. Up and up. Sitting tall and proud, shoulders down, pelvic floor lifted. 8 more. And 7. Make sure you breathe. 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more exercise to warm up. We're going to do some squats. So take your feet a wide hip width apart, and if it feels better for your body, you could turn your toes out slightly. Sit your hips back and make sure the hips are sitting back far enough that your weight goes into your heels and doesn't rock forward to the toes. Lifting that pelvic floor, and then reach the arms forward. And then squeeze the glutes to stand up. So we sit back, lifting that pelvic floor, holding it for just a second, weight in the heels, squeeze the glutes and stand up. Now you can stick with a slower pace, or you can pick up the pace a little bit for 4 more. And 3. 2 more. Last one, hold at the bottom, bring your hands to a prayer, shoulders down, weight in the heels, keep lifting the pelvic floor and dropping your shoulders and pulse up and down. 8, 7, make sure you're not arching the low back. Keep the weight back in those heels. 3, 2, and 1. Now that you're warm, stand up nice and tall. I'm going to do this next section with a resistance band, but you can certainly do it without it. I have a long resistance band. Take your feet wider than your shoulders, so a pretty wide stance, and your toes are turned out slightly. You're rotating open from your hip and not from your knee. Take your arms up about forehead height with your shoulders drawing down your back, and your hands are about a shoulder width apart, holding onto the band. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, pull that band apart. Arms are wide. Make sure your knees reach over your second toes. Tailbone curls under. Inhale, stand tall. Arms reach forward to the head height, and then exhale, pull that band apart. Inhale, stand. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades together. So we're working the upper back muscles, and at the same time, working the inner and outer thighs and the seat. Keeping the pelvic floor lifted, making sure that you're not arching that low back. And if it's too much to do the arms and legs, just focus on the legs and do the plies. Or you can stand upright and just focus on the arms. You have 2 more. Last one, hold the plie. Make sure you're wrapping those inner thighs open, and then take your arms forward in front of your shoulders, drawing those shoulders down your back, and then pull the band apart. Your legs are just holding that isometric hold. And again, lifting the pelvic floor, make sure those ribs are pulling into your body. You're not sticking your ribs forward. You have 4 more. 3, 2, and the next one, hold it open. If it feels okay, if it bothers you, you can bring your hands together and then pulse those legs. Try to keep those shoulder blades drawing down your back, really working those shoulder blade muscles. The legs are pulsing up and down. You have 6 more, 5. Try to keep that band apart. 3, 2. On the last one, hold for 5, 4. Wrapping those inner thighs. 3. Drawing the shoulders down. 2. And 1. Stand up nice and tall. Let's put the band down. And we're gonna take our hand weights. I have 3 pounds. You can use 1, 2, or 3 pounds, or no weights at all, but please work with whatever is best for your body. I'm standing sideways to the camera. Take the foot that's farthest away from the camera forward, and take your opposite foot back, and really wiggle it back so you have a nice wide stance. And then let your arms just hang by your side, and bend both knees down and hold it there. Make sure your front knee doesn't go over the toes, and it's in line with your ankle. If not, maybe wiggle that back leg back a little further. If the weights don't work and you're having balance issues, you can always place your outside hand on the wall and just go ahead and put the weights down. So from here, palms face forward, bend both knees, lower to a lunge as you take a low bicep curl, and then stand back up. Low bicep curl, stand back up. So you're bending both knees, going down, and squeezing the glutes, pressing through that front heel and the back toes to stand. Collarbones wide, pelvic floor lifted. You have 4 more. And 3. Pressing through that front heel. 2 more. On the last one, hold your lunge. Hold your isometric bicep curl. Curl the tailbone under slightly and squeeze those glutes. And then the arms reach forward like you're carrying a tray, and you bring those elbows back in. Carry that tray forward and bring it back in. As the arms reach forward, make sure your shoulders stay back so you're not rounding the shoulders. 2 more. Keeping the legs bent to challenge that lower body. On the last one, hold the arms forward, soft elbows, and just a little pulses up and up. Keep squaring the hips, drawing the belly button in. And again, you can always put the weights down if it doesn't work for you. 2. And 1, lower the arms and just pulse the legs out to finish this side. 8, 7, 6, 5. Hang on, we're almost there. 4, 3, 2. On the last one, stay here. Stay low, pivot forward to face the camera. So your legs are in that wide second position, plie again. Take your arms out to the side with your elbows rounded. This is called hug a tree. Straighten the legs, the arms come forward, and bring the hands in front of the body. Inhale, open those arms wide. Exhale, straighten, arms round forward. So it's an inhale and an exhale. Inhale and an exhale. You have 4 and 3. 2 more. Keep lifting that pelvic floor. Last one, hold your plie. Bring those arms forward and give me a little lift like you're hugging a giant beach ball, drawing the shoulder blades down your back. Hold it here, and then bend your elbows to 90 degrees. You open the arms, straighten the legs, and squeeze close. So now we're working the chest and the tops of the shoulders. And make sure those legs are tracking over the second toes. 3, 2. On the last one, hold the plie. Make sure those thighs are wrapping open. Little pulse, up and up. Draw your ribs into your body. 3, 2, and 1. Lower the arms and pivot around to the other side. Adjusting the legs, maybe holding onto the wall even if you need it. Walking your foot back, finding your nice lunge position, and hands face forward again. And then you plie down and up, down and up, squeezing the glutes each time as you come up. Collarbones wide, pelvic floor lifted. 2 more. Last one, hold it down, curl the tailbone slightly, squeeze those glutes. This time, reach the arms forward already, draw those shoulders down, and then take little reaches forward. Think out and out, little bicep reaches. Maybe arms open just a little wider so you can really feel those biceps. You have 4 more. 3, 2, last one, hold for just a second, and then lower the arms, pulse that leg. Pulse those legs out. 8, 7, 6, 5, getting nice and deep. Keep drawing the shoulders down, lifting the pelvic floor, squeezing that back seat. 2, 1, hold for 5, 4, square those hips. 3, 2, and 1, face forward. And your second position, arms round in front of you, and just squeeze those hands together. Hold it here for 5, 4, squeezing the chest muscles. 3, 2, and 1. Stand up nice and tall. Let's go ahead and put the weights down and stretch everything out. So let's start with an upper body stretch. Oops, my weights are rolling. Take your legs wide to the side, and then take your arms out to the side. Hold it here. Turn the thumbs down, and then open the arms a little wider to stretch your chest. It should feel nice. Drawing the shoulder blades down your back. And take the right arm down by your side, left arm up by your ear. And just take a little side bend. Try to keep that left hip, left foot anchored. So you stretch out the side body. Other side. Up and over. Anchor the opposite side. And lift and stretch. Come back to center. We'll do a couple leg stretches. So make sure you hold on to support, a wall or a chair if that feels better for you. Starting with a quadricep stretch, pull your heel into your seat. Try to bring your knee inwards and curl the tailbone under. Stretching the hip flexor and the quadricep. Should feel good. And then just gently, gently let the leg go. Take your foot forward, flex the foot, hinge from the hips, place your hand on your thigh, and then lengthen your chest forward, stretching out the hamstring. Bring your foot in, round it up through your spine, turn around to the other side. Quadricep, heel to seat, curl the tailbone. Think of lengthening through the front of your hip. It should feel nice to stretch that hip flexor. Gently let go, foot comes forward, flex the foot, hand the thigh, lengthen the chest over to stretch the hamstring. And then bring your feet together, hands on the thighs. Take one big inhale, one big exhale. Round your spine, drop your head, and just hold this round position for a second. Really letting the tailbone drop to the floor. Go to your flat back, and then roll it all the way up through your spine. And take a nice big inhale. And a nice big exhale. Standing tall. And we're done with part 1. Part 2 is going to be on the mat, so make sure you have a mat handy, and we're using 2 resistance bands. Please don't forget to subscribe to get updates on the latest videos.